Prepare yourselves for one of the most twisted stories in the annals of true crime. Tonight on Deep Fat Fried, the Toy Box Killer! Can you survive?
No malarkey, Jack. Back in my day, we didn't have any entertainment at all, except for the old Scranton Village Elder. He only had 2 teeth. But that guy had a million stories. I ain't joking, Fat. We'd sit in the cold every night to hear him tell the tale of the cat he ate once. Nowadays, what with the mobile pages and the web phones and Netscapes and whatnot, it's hard to figure out what even to watch. Most days I'll just surf AOL. Lost, Jack. How do I click off the page? Why are there so many browsers open? It's all too goddamn much if you ask me. Now listen, Fat, I've got your solution. It's called the Pessimist Productions Patreon. You can click the link below and bam, all the entertainment you need, Jack. It's like Willy Wink, you know, the chocolate factory thing. Hundreds of exclusive shows. I ain't kidding. Exclusive streams, more news. You can't go wrong. So cancel that AOL. Join the Pessimist Productions Patreon now. Don't wait, or you'll be sorry, Jack.
Bravo.
TJ, you are truly a thespian.
Yes. Like I said, TJ's a red light performer, man.
There you go, man.
Like
Lights, camera,
man.
oh shit.
He ain't worth the shit. Like in the but like as soon as you push him out on stage, he fucking runs it.
There you go. This is a weird. This episode, I started off thinking I was doing episode research on a serial killer, and I'm really not so sure by the end of it if that's actually what happened.
What? Wait a minute. It's not he's not a serial killer?
Yeah, so it's
mean, he might be, maybe even he probably is, but he's not for sure. Like, okay, I mean, you'll see as it goes along.
I mean, yeah, but you can say that not for sure about a lot of people and a lot of things.
Well, I mean, with most serial killers, it's pretty fucking like, you know, there's bodies and stuff like that, and I don't know.
Then how's this guy? Okay, you have to explain this whole fucking case.
Well, I guess I'm going to.
I hope so.
All right, I'm going to put on my true crime voice. 7 miles north of Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, in the small town of Elephant Butte, there lived a fellow called David Parker Ray.
Elephant butt.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew it.
He lived in Elephant Butt, Montana.
That's all I heard, dude.
No wonder he went crazy. He was living on an elephant's butt. Like most of us, David was a person with many identity hats. He wore the hat of soldier, father, husband, mechanic. But none of those are why we're talking about.
Tinker, Tailor,
soldier,
spy.
He also wore the hat of rapist, torturer, probably killer, though he was never convicted of murder. He is strongly suspected of it.
So it's one of those cases.
Is he still? He's still among us. He still walks among us.
I never said that.
Yeah, you
Probably,
did.
yeah, that's probably how he avoided justice, Paul. He probably fucking kicked the bucket, and it's like, well, what can you do? He's dead.
Well, I just said he was never convicted of murder. That's all I said.
We're speculating, T. We're speculating.
Next image, please.
Next slide.
Next slide.
Oh, next slide, please. Sorry.
Next slide.
I had the wrong thing selected here. My bad.
all
There
good.
we go. All right, we're good.
They called him the Toy Box Killer. And this is what you're looking at. You're looking at his toy box.
So a trailer.
It is it's a
Something
truck trailer.
tells me that it is not filled with PlayStation 2 games and a comfy couch.
I bet you it is.
You're probably right about that. It's a simple 22-foot truck trailer, unassuming and beneath most people's notice. Like, you could drive right past this thing and not give it a second glance, right? You're not going to fucking care that this thing is there.
I mean, yeah, I definitely wouldn't think that, like, oh my God, it's some kind of hideous torture device built by a probable serial killer or whatever. I probably wouldn't think that. It's very unassuming looking, let's put it that way. It
So
looks
in
like
reality,
it looks like something corporate. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's a truck that's waiting for new branding to be put on the side or whatever the fuck. It just doesn't.
Or
even-
like, I mean, maybe like at most like a temporary job site. 'Cause I see a window unit coming out of the back of it. That's the only thing that actually
like a
distinguishes it.
foreman's office or some shit.
Yeah,
on a
you can see
job
there's
site.
a door and a stairway. So obviously someone is using this for some purpose other than it's a truck trailer.
Right.
But you still probably wouldn't. You probably just think like, oh, it's like
Yeah.
someone's living there because it's like a cheap place to live.
Some shit, yeah.
In reality, this is a $100,000 soundproof dungeon filled to the brim with the tools of David's dark trade.
What?
Well, it's his dark trade.
Check it out. Next slide.
Whoa.
Whips, chains, pulleys, clamps, restraints, spreaders, surgical blades, saws, syringes, sex toys, all kinds of crazy shit.
Toys.
Toys. Andy Dick was there a few times. You know, he's like, "Wow, this place is great."
And next one of the people would probably walk away and just tell the tale. The guy was probably just like, nah, I don't want this one on
I
me.
met this really great guy, David Parker Ray.
An elephant butt.
Met him at Elephant Butt, and he stretched
said-
my butt out like an elephant. I'll tell you that. There's a mirror mounted on the ceiling above this gynecologist type table upon which he would strap his victims. Ray would also put his victims in wooden contraptions that bent them over and immobilized them, while he had his friends or his accomplice wife torture and rape them.
So this is like some weird like fucking Sweeney Todd barber chair that like straps people in and fucking puts them in compromising positions and shit.
He can manipulate it to like put you in several different positions that he wants you in. He also had like electrodes and shit that he could use to shock you.
But all allegedly, according to you. Because so
well, no, most of this stuff is like pretty confirmed. I mean, like this.
okay, so this is 100%. This guy owned this thing.
Well, I mean, there's even some sort. I mean, you'll see. You know.
Okay. I mean, just it's kind of crazy that like if he's the registered owner of all this shit, that's nuts.
No, he knows. This was all on his property.
Yeah. So I mean,
So before we get too deep into like that was your little opening fucking taste of like what this guy done.
Oh, I'm
Now
tantalized.
let's fucking back it up.
all right. Did he hit
Back
his head?
it up.
Did he hit his head, TJ?
No, he never hit his
You're
head.
pulling
I
a
actually-
Tarantino on us, dude. You're showing us
actually
what
looked-
happened, and then you're showing us how it happened,
Yeah.
TJ. How you do that, man?
It's called story structure, Paul.
Nick
Whoa.
of time
Crazy.
type of shit with Johnny Depp. What you're doing is TJ.
Showed you the end, but now we're going back to the fucking beginning. This is David Parker Ray. Scotty, the hit in the head question is actually one of the things, I'm sure you probably know this, that they look for in like when they're studying serial killers. The whole like criminology, criminal profile thing. One of the things is head trauma as a child.
Was it? Yeah, because it's so common.
Well, he might have head trauma because he was abused. His early life was fraught with abuse and abandonment. He was abandoned by his mother and his abusive alcoholic father, but not until his father beat him a few times. David was then raised by his fundamentalist Christian grandparents, who also subjected him to beatings and abuse at the smallest indiscretion. Those who knew him as a schoolboy say he was very shy and reserved, especially with girls, closed off to others, and the victim of bullying at school.
Shocking.
So, according to some, Ray's first victim may have been a girl that he abducted at knife point, tied to a tree, and tortured to death when he was a young teenager. But there's not really many details. There's not any details about this story. There's no identity placed to this person. So, like, this could just be
A tall tale.
him being like, "Oh yeah, then I killed her," but he never fucking did it.
Well, is it according to him? Did this come out of him,
It
or
is
is this?
I mean, so the reason that this is believed is because when he was a young man, he would go around telling people that he did this, like bragging about it, like, "Yeah, I tortured this girl, I tied her to this tree, and I tortured her, and I killed her, and all this," you know.
Right.
And so people were like, later on when he got caught being a serial killer, they're like, yeah, he did tell me that he did this thing. We didn't believe him at the time, but now
we believe. Yeah.
So this is David Parker Ray's daughter, Glenda Jean Ray, but she went by Jessie Ray. She adored her father growing up, though she rarely saw him since he was a mechanic that took jobs all over the state. Didn't really have steady employment. He would just kind of go where the work was. He did little to hide his sadistic sexual fascinations from his daughter, who by the time she reached the age of 19 had turned on him and actually called the FBI to report some of the activities that he was, allegedly up to.
I mean, that's not shocking. Like, why? Like, what would make? I guess he'd probably pretty warped to have no sense that somebody that was close to him would not want to be involved in his weirdness.
Yeah, more than likely not.
Oh well, one of the things you'll learn as this story unfolds is that the toy box killer is really not one person. David Parker Ray is at the top of the food chain, but there's lots of other people that were tangentially involved. And, his daughter, and she has a bigger part to play in this story than you might think.
You got something else on your mind, TJ? You mentioned my name.
So she told the FBI that she had witnessed her father torture a prostitute so severely that the woman ran naked and screaming into the night in sheer terror. She also told him her father routinely abducted women, tortured and raped them until he was bored with them, and then sold them to sexual slavery in Mexico. This was all before the toy box was even built, by the way. So this is like pre-toy box
this is
years.
That's like the prelude to that. That's like his little warm-up. Is like, yeah, I just beat and rape you, then I'll let you go.
Well, according to his daughter, beat and raped him and then fucking sold him off to sexual slavery in Mexico somewhere.
That's crazy.
I mean, when was, here's the fucking rub to that. When were these tales told? Like, she just called in. I mean, does she have a grudge against her dad? I mean, like, and I'm not saying, obviously, there's reasonable suspicion around this guy, obviously. I'm just saying, but like, maybe that happened, but maybe it's being sensationalized for benefit, is what I'm saying. So it just depends on when the tale was told.
Well,
and the circumstances behind it.
Far from hiding his nature, the then 46-year-old Ray proudly flaunted his BDSM lifestyle to the FBI, telling them that it was difficult for him to even ejaculate unless he was thinking about murder. Obviously, they were deeply concerned about those kind of interviews, but after a lengthy investigation, they couldn't find anything concrete on him. They could not identify a single victim. They could not pin a single crime on him.
They couldn't find anything concrete except his dick when he was talking about BDSM.
Murder. Dude, what if, dude, he made this persona up, dude? Maybe he didn't actually have the balls to kill anybody. So he just had to, like, invent, like, I was a serial killer. Well, I mean, the FBI invested. I mean, if you're saying they have nothing, I mean, unless you got some more solid in this episode, I'm going to say this guy, I mean, he's got...
Well, like I said, this is before the toy box stuff even begins, Scotty.
Okay.
This is just warm-up.
Well, see, because you fucking fucked with me, TD. You're not giving me a fucking timeline that makes sense. We're going all over the place. We're going to the fucking future. We're going to the past. I mean, what is the fucking toy box killer doing in 2099, TJ? I don't even fucking know.
All right, well, this is his daughter, Jessie.
In 20XX, Mega City was under attack. Only one man couldn't save it. Are you the Mega Man?
So Jessie never cooperated with law enforcement again. It seems that somehow the events of this investigation actually brought David and his daughter Jessie closer together.
Man, crazy likes crazy, huh?
According to some speculation, it brought them really close together, if you know what I'm saying.
No.
What do you mean? Like they were like
incestuous?
Like what do you mean? Like they had like a weekly spa date or something. Like they
well, a few years later, Jessie gave birth to a child, and it's believed by some, speculated that David might be the father of his daughter's
why has that got to be speculation?
Yeah, who's speculating for what? I mean,
why can't they just scoop some
crazy
DNA?
Accusation?
Just wait till the kid's fucking walking around and she throws away a Starbucks cup that it touched or something. And get that shit DNA. You'll know. They'll be able to tell your ass after they look at that DNA. They'll be able to know.
See, if they were in Alabama, it'd be much easier to figure that one out. But unfortunately, I mean, where are they at? Arizona or Montana?
New Mexico.
New Mexico. No wonder I blocked that state out of my mind.
I'll blame you.
So it was after the FBI investigation against him concluded and turned up nothing that David Parker Ray started to escalate his crimes, purchasing what he would convert into the toy box. Escape-proof, soundproof, reinforced frame, deadbolt lock. Pretty much inescapable. No sound can escape it. You can scream all you want in it. No one outside is going to hear a fucking thing.
Huh.
That's normal. Yeah, I like to build this trailer and make it soundproof. It's like if you had a chainsaw and you were murdering someone here, people on the outside would be completely unaware. Why do you need that? I just want it. Just to have it.
I'd like to soundproof this. Me and my band are gonna practice in here. You know what I mean?
You gotta practice.
Don't want people to hear.
It's gotta be mobile too. Mobile's very important.
I mean, it does look super innocuous, dude.
Right, you could drive right on past this thing. There could be someone fucking getting murdered right inside. You never even know.
Dude, it looks like a thing that maybe it's like a taco truck that's all when the guy comes to open for business, he lets out that side panel and goes in there and starts. It does. It looks like it might be like a taco truck or some shit.
Yeah, I mean,
some tacos.
Something like this could easily be a
too.
food truck or something like that.
I want some al pastor, man.
Yeah, he's got murdering people in the back. It's like, look, I'm feeling like some carne asada. Come on, hurry up with that.
So this is the camera that he set up it's not only to record his activities, which there were tons of different tapes.
Wait a minute, there's tapes now.
Yeah, there's tapes
of him torturing people.
Yes.
Oh.
But so how was he not convicted?
He wasn't convicted of murder.
Was he charged with murder ever?
No.
Okay.
I'm getting there. There was also a monitor that was positioned so that his victims could see what was happening to them in real time.
Oh, that's fucked up, dude.
He liked to escalate them to the pinnacle, not only of pain, but of terror as well. He wanted them. Yeah, he wanted them to see what he was doing to them. That's why there's mirrors on the ceiling.
Your suffering shall
He
be
had
legendary. Please! Look.
Yeah, he had some pink champagne on ice, and
Champagne on ice? That's
I was
Dude,
making a
the
hotel
toy
call.
box. The
Yeah.
pinnacle of pain and terror and pleasure, dude. He's Pinhead.
Well, I mean-
Yeah, plebs, it's time to go. We don't want you here no more. Molly, TJ, Scotty too. There's a fucking